Hi guys, this is Lars. This is video number 4, probably, or update number 4 for the tank build. You see, I'm sitting on the edge of the tank and it's full of water. It's looking really awesome. It's looking a little bit blue. And I've just done a pH test on it and it's 9.8 or 9.9. So yeah, not not super healthy. We've got the main 2 fish tanks over there. This is where is it? There. This one's the stock tank. That's got the fish in it. That's currently about 8.1 or 8.2. That seems reasonably stable over the last probably 20 hours or so. I was a little bit worried about that actually because it seems quite alkaline. From what I've read, and you know, if anyone has any better information on this, that would be great. Carp, particularly, if you've got pH between 6.5 and 8.5, as long as it's stable and it doesn't go up and down a lot, that should be fine. So, yeah, basically what people have suggested on different forums is anything in that range, as long as it's stable, is good. So basically, with the drain tank, I'll shoot some more footage of this now. We're going to keep adding, I'm going to keep adding vinegar to that and checking the pH. And as soon as the pH stabilises at 7, then we can kind of infer from that the concrete has finished curing and that it's not going to carry on sort of poisoning the water with more alkalinity. Yeah, so if I just flip the camera around, we'll do a quick look around, and then basically my plan for the rest of the weekend is to get the. Sorry, I'm trying to sort out my camera. Plan for the rest of the weekend is to get some of the electronics in here and upload into the web server so that I can monitor the tank temperatures. Yeah, that was the other thing. I was asking on a couple of the Facebook groups. I'm sorting out my hair. I was asking a couple of the Facebook groups about tank temperatures. I've noticed that our carp have all gone into basically hibernation, and that they've been like that for about 6 months now. Quite a few people saying up to 18 degrees they're too cold. The tank temperature at the moment is hovering around 11 and 12 degrees, and then in this tank it's slightly warmer. Why that is, as you can see on these, is that we've got lots of lagging around these tanks. So basically that, I think, is that's kind of screwing us a little bit, because they're now really well insulated, and they're obviously not absorbed. You know, they're holding the cold that they've slowly picked up over the winter. So one of the other little things I'm doing is putting together a small meter by meter hose pipe solar panel, with the idea of just sticking that up and try to slowly heat up the water a little bit. Yeah, so the electronics that I'm going to be doing this weekend is tank sensors for the curing tank, the fish tank, ambient air temperature, and possibly the tank temperature in the buffer tank, which is this one here. I think the other thing that might be quite useful is to, I'm kind of rambling now. The other thing that might be quite useful is to, if I put together like a schematic of the setup that I've got already and the setup I'm building. That you know, if anyone's got any questions or any thoughts on that, that would be really well appreciated. Because you know, I'm still learning, and you know, if I can learn from other people's mistakes and other people can learn from my mistakes, then that's going to sort of help the whole aquaponics situation. You can see just behind me over my shoulder here the grow beds, some onions in one of them, but they've been turned off for about 4 or 5 months now over the winter. So what I need to do is fix some plumbing on those while they're still dry, and then turn them back on. At the moment we've just got the swell filter, and there's an air stone in that tank for aeration and filtration. So, right, my arm is about to go dead, so I'm going to go and do a bit more film from the other direction, and then go and work out the plan for the rest of the weekend. Cool. Right, these are my chickens, by the way. We got, I think, about 8 Rhode Island Reds, maybe 10, I can't remember. They're all exactly little clones of each other and I can't tell them apart. And then we've got a couple of weird Rhode Island Red Blackrock crosses, and we've got a Rhode Island Red Rooster. This is one of the weird crosses. And then that's the rooster. And this is their chicken shed. That's raised up off the ground because we've had a lot of problems with polecats getting in, which are like big ferrets, and they'll get in there and kill everything. So having it raised up off the ground, we've not had any, touch wood, no problems at all this last year or so. But we were losing about 8 chickens a year to polecats last time. I just noticed I need to fix the door there is cracking a little bit. Okay. Right, so here's the tank. You can obviously see that this side still, I haven't plastered the outside, but it all seems structurally sound. It's filled up to just below, about an inch below the overflow. We've got a dipstick here which is just showing us how the water level is behaving. And then in the far corner on a float there we've got a temperature sensor. And by temperature sensor I mean... Okay, it will be a temperature sensor. What we actually have there is a thermometer and a bit of foam, which I think calling it a temperature sensor is a bit it's a bit grandiose. As you can see, very nice chemical blue colour. Kind of looks a bit like a nuclear cooling pond. Not quite sure why. I think it's to do with the curing of the concrete. In fact, if anyone has any ideas on that, that would be interesting to know. Sorry, almost tripped over there. So basically, yeah, that's it. It's 5,000 litres just about. It would be 6,000, except we've got this little knock out in the corner which allows us to get a wheelbarrow in. These 2 tanks are our old ones. You can see they're gradually falling over. I've turned off the pumps at the moment, so what we've got is this tank here with a cover over it is what is basically the feed tank for all of the grow beds, and then the main tank up here is for the fish. I don't know if they'll show up on video. Oh yeah, they kind of show up. Let's have a look. So yep, there we go. So most of these are brown goldfish, some of them have turned gold, and I don't know if you can see any in there. There we go, there's a big one. And there's 4 big mirror carp in there. And we're going to go for about 30 or so mirror carp overall. These are the grow beds, and these are just like constant feed things. They're, in hindsight, not very well made. We've had a little bit of problem with them gradually falling over, so they're all gradually like leaning over that way. And then this is the rest of the building site in the Polytunnel, and this is going to get cleaned up at some point. There's an old workbench that we built in a while ago. Full of all the plumbing stuff, fish food, paint. That was going to be a water butt using the ferro cement as a trial run, just really didn't work, and we kind of left it there. I need to smash that up. Yeah, so that's kind of basically what the setup is. In the grow beds we've got 3 shallower ones and then 1 deeper one. This is the deeper one. And this had potatoes in it. In fact, there's a seed potato that I must have missed. Obviously this is incredibly messy. These, I have no idea what was here. The overflows, I don't know how easy you can see this. The way, can I get this to focus? No. The way these work is water gets pumped in across this back bar along here, and we've got some 3D printed hose clamps stuck to that. These hoses, one of those, this one comes from the pump in, and then this one goes down and feeds this bottom bed. Every hour the pump turns on for 10 minutes, fills up the beds, and then the water flows down through the beds. And then we have an overflow here, so there's in the top of the overflow, just below the level of the media, that's a big overflow, so the pump, that can overflow faster than the pump can pump. Then the bottom of the overflow, which is kind of level with the bottom of the bed, there's a smaller hole, and then that gradually trickles through. So what happens is the pump, let's see if I can get a good thing. So the pump goes on, the water level rises, overflows, so it won't rise anymore and it won't overflow the bed. Then as soon as the pump turns off, it gradually drops back down again. And then having a timer on the pump stops that, sort of, you know, keeps that like flood drain cycle going. It's a bit of an odd setup actually, and I've not really seen too many other people using that. Oh, there's the webcam for the time lapses. Yeah, the setup, the reason I picked that was basically it was the cheapest way of doing it, which is probably a bad way of designing these things, but you know. So basically everything in here I've allowed it to die off over the winter. Unless you'll be able to see this even. Yeah, so you see this has slits in it, the overflow, so it will gradually limit the amount of water that goes through, and then you really can't see it, but at the bottom of this there is a couple of little holes, and these is allowed to overflow slowly, and all of them work the same. The bottom bed, the overflow is about halfway up, so the idea is the water will wick up slightly through the stones as well. So this has got, well, when I turned it off, because it was we had a lot of leaks and a lot of plumbing problems, and the sump, which is down the far end, kind of there, was leaking, and every time it rained, it would the hole the sump is in would fill up, and the sump would like float up and float off in the rain. So there was a lot of problems with this system, and basically we just turned it off, and I've been fixing it. So yeah, the idea for carrying this on is to do a mirror image of this pond, kind of going down this way, but at like half height. And this is going to be a floating raft bed for salad, with air stones in the bottom. We might put fish in there, I don't know. And then for the rest of it, we're going to clear out all this crap. And this has just turned into a site where we dump crap, basically. And then we're going to have maybe 4 ICB tanks cut in, or IBC tanks cut in half as media beds, and then probably a lot of blue barrels as deep water culture. So yeah, that's basically what I'm planning there. There's been some aggressive weeds from the outside. I think most of these are dead now, but we have a big problem with these ones here, which are stinger nettles, and they put like little tendrils out under the ground, so you can chop the tops off, and a week later they're back again. Yeah, so that's kind of where that is at the moment. I'm kind of aware that this video is probably getting a bit long, so what I'll do is probably upload this one just as a brief update, and then once we've done the electronics stuff, I'll probably do a separate video of installing that as part 5. Okay. Right, so that was sort of the video update. There's not really, you know, I've been out all day, so I've not had actually any time to do anything in here yet. Yeah, so this is video number 4, which is just a brief update and a bit more information about the system. If you have any questions, I would love you to ask them. And if you have any suggestions, I would love your suggestions as well. If you can see something that we're doing wrong, or that you think might cause us problems in the future, I think if we know about that now, that might be you know, we can incorporate those into the design. That would be good. Yeah, I have no idea where the subscribe button is. I think it's here. So if you hit the subscribe button, that would be awesome, because we always love support. We don't, you know, we don't want to really work in a vacuum, and it's nice to have people interested in the project. And yeah, like it, share the video. Feel free to you know, if you think it's worth it, put this video out on your own channels and playlists and whatever. Yeah, and this has been one long rambling video, so I'm going to say this is Lars Islander for the End of the World We Know blog. Thank you for watching, and rock on, guys.